All right, hey everyone, welcome back to another vinyl update. I know it's been quite a bit since I've done one of these, but I mean, as you can see, I'm in a new place. Like, I moved, I've been doing a lot of personal stuff, but also still collecting in the process of all of that. And yeah, why don't we just get right into it? I think I have about 24 albums slash singles, whatever, to show you guys today. So yeah, if you do hear like AC or anything in the background, apologies for that, but yeah, I think we should be good to go. So yes, first one, these aren't in any particular order. I think maybe kind of alphabetically, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry if the camera shakes. I'm still kind of working out anything. Anyway, don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, first we have, this is the new James Blake album, Trying Times. Came out in March of this year. Of course, this is the alternate cover. I believe Quentin Blake did the illustration for this version. And if that name sounds familiar, probably, I mean, he's a big artist in general, I think, but also he did the cover for Color and Anything, Blake's third album, I believe. But yeah, love this album. I think it's a great kind of mesh between a lot of James's previous styles and everything. I think the title track's probably my favorite song of the year so far. And it does have a poster also with just this artwork again, just kind of blown up a little bit more. Sleeves are pretty minimal, just like credits, song titles and stuff. And it is on a white pressing. It's like a slightly kind of translucent, kind of milky white, which is pretty nice. Goes well with the cover, of course. And yeah, definitely in my top 10 of the year so far, and glad to have picked this one up when I could. Next is gonna be I think the most recent pickup as of this video, and probably when this comes out I might have already have one or two more that I didn't show you in this video, but anyway, this is of course Charli XCX, Music, Fashion, Film. Of course, a very polarizing album from her so far this year, but I have come to really enjoy it. Some songs I just have on repeat, honestly, since it came out, and I just admire the kind of versatility and like kind of, you know, she's not confining herself to any style, anything. She's always pushing forward, everything like that. This pressing isn't too crazy. I know there's definitely some cooler ones out there, but it is just the hardwood pressing. It's, I believe, exclusive to Target here. I think it might be HMV in the UK. If I'm not mistaken, but I do like the simplicity of it. It goes with the record, I think, very well. I was pretty close to getting either this or like the Yorkshire Smoke version, but they all look really cool, I think. But yeah, it's got a bit of like black splatter in there. But yeah, brown disc, everything, hardwood, obviously. But yeah, really love this album. I did pick up Wuthering Heights earlier in the year. I just haven't really found myself spinning it as much as I maybe thought. So I did end up giving that one away recently, but I still do love that album, just not really more of a certain track kind of vibe to that album for me personally. But yeah, I have basically everything else from Charli that I would want up to this point. Might try to get the Vroom Vroom reissue here in a few months, but we will see. Next, one I got a few months ago now, but it's the Geese Live at Third Man. I was actually fortunate enough to tour Third Man last October, and I had like around when Getting Killed came out, and I saw like they had a poster of that they were just there and talked about the direct to acetate shows that they do. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out for that now. And then of course that paid off with this. Not like it's a rare press or anything like that, but and just standard black vinyl, of course. I wasn't at the show or anything, but yeah, I love this little show. I mean, if I don't get to see them live anytime soon, it's good to have this at least. And that the new song, the like I Will Let You Down. I don't know if that's gonna be on their next album or maybe Cameron's next solo album. Love that song though, so that's exciting. And yeah. Next, another one of my favorites of the year. It's gonna be The Mountain. Gorillaz, of course. Really just a great kind of foray into different styles for them, and just a great overall message. Themes of the album I really admire. This is also got the obi fell out right there, my bad. But this is the kind of, it was marketed as kind of like a dark red, but it's more of like a translucent kind of like almost brownish coppery vibe. I don't mind it. I like the idea of it, but definitely I know why some people maybe were disappointed in this version of the album. Another one where you can't really go wrong with any version of the album, I would say. But yeah, and I have the obi right here. I know it's kind of, people would probably be mad if I folded that, but you know, I'm not gonna keep it on all the time, so there's that. Put that back in there. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, guys, but you know, I appreciate anyone who's sticking around. Next we have a copy of, I believe, Fenian, hopefully I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly, the new Kneecap album. If you guys don't know these guys, Irish hip-hop, political hip-hop trio out of Ireland. I also really highly recommend their film they made about, a kind of biopic they made about themselves. Really great film from, I think, 2024. This is the tri-color kind of red, lighter translucent red, orangish, and black pressing. Some great bangers on this, and just overall, again, important message, everything like that. Good stuff. All right, and how are we doing? Good. All right. Next, I do just want to shout out a couple of 7-inches I've gotten over the past few months. I'm never a huge 7-inch guy, but I have kind of gradually grown with that kind of recently, just especially if it's like a single that's not just like one song or like the instrumental on the other song. As long as there's like multiple on both sides, I'm pretty much down for it. So the first one is Sufjan Stevens' Love Yourself / With My Whole Heart reissue he did for Pride Month this year. They haven't pressed this since it came out in 2019, so this was a cool opportunity. It's this kind of hand-poured marble, rainbow marbling. Mine's a bit more dark than some people's. Like, I don't really have any yellow in mine, but I know some people do. Some people don't have as dark of blues and purples as me, so yeah, it's all luck of the draw. Sounds great. It's funny, because my copy did actually have how sometimes they'll have like an extra label on top, so I did type as to kind of take that off. I'll probably keep working at that soon, but you know, it's just so puffy and like, okay, I don't need all that on there, so yeah. But great songs. If you haven't heard, I believe With My Whole Heart is in the new Heartstopper movie. I was never into that, but you know, for people who are, there's your gateway into something like this. So yeah. Next is another kind of promotional kind of 7-inch I came across earlier in the year. It's the original version of Campus, of course the Vampire Weekend song, but done by ex-member Rostam. And this is really kind of leading up to his new album from this year. But it's a really cool version, a lot more like string arrangements and stuff. This is just standard black, I believe, but it was also kind of a fundraiser. I think a lot of the proceeds to this also went to like Palestinian education, stuff like that, so that's really awesome. But yeah, great rendition of that song, and love hearing Rostam's voice whenever I can too, now that he's not in the band anymore and doing his own thing, so yeah. The last 7-inch for this video, it's going to be the Stateside remix / the original version. Of course, PinkPantheress, Zara Larsson. Love this song, love both versions of the song. I never picked up Fancy That. I might still in the future, who knows, or just any of her albums, but I thought at least to have something physical for my love of Pink's music, this would be a great thing. And it was super cheap too, which is cool to see, especially for such as big of an artist as she's becoming. This is the, I believe it is the magenta version. I think there's a red version also with a different cover, more of like a Zara cover rather than like a pink centric cover. But yeah. All right, now back to the main records. How are we doing on? Yes, we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right. Start with these. Couple. And yeah, just for time's sake, if something is like just standard black or whatever, I probably won't pull it all the way out. But first we got this little thing I found on Record Store Day. I had been hearing about it. It's of course not an official thing, but I thought it was too cool to see, especially in the wild, to just pass up. This is the Turnstile both Tiny Desk concerts they've done over the years. Well, the first one is of course Glow On songs. Second is the more recent Never Enough songs. It sounds pretty good for what it is, and wasn't too crazy expensive or anything like that, like some bootlegs sometimes are. And this is the very nice kind of dark, deep purple. You can tell in the camera there. Very nice. Almost kind of reminds me of those old Synchronicity Police pressings that were kind of like that dark purple, back when you didn't really see color pressings all that often anyway too. But yeah, great stuff. Again, huge fan of Turnstile. So this is a cool kind of collector's item to have. Apologies if I'm looking off a little. There's a wasp in here earlier, just making sure we're not getting attacked anymore. I think we're okay, but that's what happens in the summer. But yeah, next is, I know I showed you guys, I believe, Dijon's Baby last time I did this. Of course, now I had to get Absolutely, another one of my favorites from 2021, just continued to kind of grow on me over the years. So I was like, why not? You know, I have this new one, might as well get the old one too, older one. And this is the brown pressing. I was kind of torn between that and the green one, but you know, either one. I got a good deal on it on Discogs, shout out. But yeah, great album. Next, another one that's just been on my list for a while that I finally just picked up recently. It is a used copy, but I didn't really care. Sometimes I'm into that. Of course, Station to Station, David Bowie, one of his best, I think, one of my favorites. I also have Black Star is probably still my favorite. Ziggy and Low is my other big favorite, and this was the one right before that, if I'm not mistaken. Great tracks, great kind of long psychedelic winding songs for him in his like Thin White Duke persona era. And this is the red pressing that I found. I know they did just re-release it, I think for its 50th anniversary as well, but I found this one just at one of my local stores. I think this is from maybe 5 years ago or so. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, sounds great. Next is one that I was really happy I did just inevitably pull the plug on because I was kind of on the fence with, and I ended up loving it. It's the new Bon Iver live recordings, kind of volumes, archival series he's doing. And this is the limited like yellow pressing to go with the cover and everything. It's very nice. And yeah, just a really great live album. Like I'm never a huge live albums guy, especially like physically. But this one was really great, and I was fortunate enough to see them back in 2022. and just totally transported me right back there. It's some great renditions of like mainly tracks from like II and 22 Million, but still you can't really go wrong with a lot of those. Of course, it also has Heavenly Father finally like officially released again in some capacity, so that's awesome too. But yeah, great stuff. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Again, still working on the best kind of mount for this right now. But yeah, at least my background's cool, you know? So continuing, I think we're about halfway-ish. Next, finally had to pick up a copy of Emotion. I did have a standard black for a while, but it just never really sounded that great. So I did eventually give that one away and got this one recently since she's announced her new album coming out in a month or so. This is the 10th anniversary blue swirl one. Really love how this turned out. Just of course the standard album, not the deluxe or anything like that. I was thinking about that back when it released, never got around to it, but I'm glad I did finally just pick up the standard album. And this one of course sounds great. Next, one of my prized possessions so far this year, if not of my entire collection, it's the Crybaby Vince Staples. This is the Bloodshot vinyl with the piece of the white flag from the music video for White Flag. This was numbered to 3,000 copies, at least initial copies. Sorry. And I managed to somehow get number 1 of 3,000, at least of this version of the album, which I'm just in awe of. Another one of my favorites of the year so far. I love the kind of rock direction Vince is going on in this album, and of course keeping it political, keeping it blunt as he usually does. And the album itself is this nice kind of bloody middle clear vinyl. There you go, something like that. I'll pull the whole thing out. There you go. And yeah, sounds great, looks great. Very happy with it. I guess I will show you the piece of the flag. I didn't get one that's really like that crazy or that unique. I've seen people with like kind of still some red on it, bullet holes, some stars from the flag. So really just standard little, like piece of white cloth from an American flag, but that's nothing to scoff at, especially when it is somehow that, like that's insane. But yeah, next is another very exciting release. This is by Storm, My Ghosts Go Ghosts. As you can see, a signed copy that I was able to get on Bandcamp Friday earlier in January, February this year. If you guys are unaware, this is like the new project that was Injury Reserve. Just a very mind-melding, crazy experimental hip-hop album that I just can't, like, I'm always finding new things to love about it, even 6-7 months after it was released. Yeah, very grateful to have gotten this when I could. Yeah, just a standard black version, but that's alright. Next is my the only really record store day release that I got this year, but I'm very glad to have gotten it because my store only had one copy and I managed to still get it. It's the Labi Siffre Crying, Laughing, Loving, Lying album. You guys probably have heard the title track, you know, in the Holdovers, the song Canic Chase, big on TikTok. It's also in the movie Sentimental Value from last year. You probably know my song from Kanye's song I Wonder. anything like that. Just a great singer-songwriter album from the 70s, which was really kind of hard to come by until this new reissue, so I'm glad to have finally gotten it. This is also the deluxe edition with a few extra songs on it, which is great, and they're all fantastic as well. And I wasn't sure if this was going to be colored or not. It ended up being this kind of like lemon yellow kind of vibe, which I think fits very well. And yeah, great album. As you can tell, I've sleeved some of these. I haven't sleeved everything. I'm never a huge sleever in general. I know that's kind of sacrilege to some people, but I mean, more often than not, like, I'm gonna be the one to keep these. Like, I kind of love when they kind of get, you know, wear and tear on them. It's kind of the charm of collecting to me. So, but some I do keep protective when I need to, but yeah. Next few. This album I ordered back when it came out. I did not get a shipping notification, anything. It just showed up at my door one day. That is the new Genesis Owusu, Redstar Woo, and the worldwide Scourge. Another one of my favorite albums of the year. If you don't know, he's like an Australian-based artist. He kind of does a little bit of everything: hip-hop, rock, soul, funk, a lot of stuff really well. This one is maybe his most politically charged album yet. It's probably my favorite of his yet, but all of his 3 albums so far are fantastic. But yeah, I'm really glad it showed up finally, like about a month and a half after it came out. That's okay. Another one, very like a fluorescent yellow vibe, highlighter kind of vibe. Really fits the album well. But yeah, can't recommend enough. Next, another one I did not know was coming. It just showed up, and I'm very fortunate that it did. I'm very grateful it did, because I know this one was very limited to this specific version. I know some people's order probably got canceled. But yeah, luckily it did come. It's my album of the year so far, underscores you. This is the Urban exclusive silver vinyl. It's a very nice silver, probably the best silver I have. It's very kind of translucent and just very pretty, fits the vibe very well. I have my little cards in here. There's April right there. Very nice. But yeah, very glad to pick this up. I'm never a huge urban person. I mean, I will occasionally, like I do with Target, major retailers, whatever. I try to be local as possible. But the urban one was just, I mean, it's just pretty much that, or the clear pressing, I think, when I was ordering it. So it was like, might as well. And it was, I think, limited to 300 or something, so that's crazy. But yeah, next is one, another one where I just got an updated pressing of, because I had been seeing this guy was like signing a lot of stuff at local record stores. They were selling it online. I managed to finally get a copy from a store in Indianapolis. That is Quaranta, Danny Brown. Still one of my personal favorites from him, I think. I think it's very open, very raw, and like showed his progression and where he was at this point, and then like going to rehab, getting clean, getting just better overall. I think I find this album very moving in that way now too. But yeah, I managed to find a signed copy, and this is just the standard kind of red pressing. I guess I don't really need to show you guys. You've already seen a red pressing in this video, but yeah, really cool to have had a signed copy of his now. I might eventually get Stardust too. We'll see, but I do of course have Atrocity Exhibition. That's my personal favorite. It is one of my favorite albums of all time. But yeah, glad to have had this now too. Okay, we're in the end game here, about 5 left, 4? No, 5. 5 left, but I will go pretty quick. Okay, this one, another one it's been on my list for years. Finally kind of bit the bullet with them kind of just continuing to put stuff out last year into this year, and just keep coming back to this album. It is Frailty, Jane Remover. This is the pink repress, one of the first represses to be fair, but not like an original pressing or anything, but very cool kind of pink version of the cover and everything. And it's a very lighter pink than I thought, which is really cool. It's just kind of baby pink, very nice. Sounds pretty good for what it is. I mean, no, it sounds good. It sounds very, very good. But yeah, probably still my favorite of hers, but I am loving a lot of the new venturing stuff, some of that Leroy stuff. I mean, everything she does is some form of good, but yeah. Next, it's just this little thing, just kind of got on a whim because this is probably my favorite EP of this era of the band. This is 1975 Music for Cars EP. It's got tracks like, of course, Chocolate's on it, but the track Me is on it. Big fan favorite. Also, Hit Cars Bending I love a lot. But yeah, definitely my favorite. Like this and of course the Sex EP from this era are very kind of nostalgic for people. Just the white vinyl. Yeah, but managed to get it online for a decent price. I was like, why not? Anyway, just gonna go back in there. I'll do it later. All right, now, also one, again, just been on my list for a long time, one of my favorite albums ever, Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. This is one of the recent represses on this very nice Coke bottle, very translucent Coke bottle, which I like a lot. But yeah, sounds amazing. Again, not much to say. You guys probably know it. All right, last two albums from this year I love a lot. I think a lot of people love a lot. First is going to be Slayyyter, Worst Girl in America. Looking forward to Worst Man in America, supposedly. But yeah, this album's fantastic. I just continue to adore it, finding new things to love about it since it came out. This is also the Urban Baby Blue version, which is probably one of my favorites I've seen. Very, very pretty. But yeah, very glad to have this. And yeah, what's in here? Oh yeah, well, I was also fortunate enough to see her in St. Louis this past week or so, so that was very, very awesome. And I'd say you should see her if you could, whenever possible. Lastly, of course, but not least, of course, it's the new Olivia Rodrigo, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. This is the lenticular cover. I know some people have a bit of issues with like how they had to get this album like onto one disc, so they kind of cut some songs short. I don't hate that. I mean, that used to happen a lot back in the day. But I do see where people's frustration is. But this pressing is very, very pretty. And just this album really surprised me, really threw me for a loop, but in a good way, of course. Because I've always liked Olivia, like here and there. I've always like tolerated her as an artist, but this one really showed me just how much of like an artist she can be, and how like much of an album artist she can be. And I think we should really like, it's just definitely like it's deserving of all the praise it's been getting, and definitely her best showing to date in my eyes. If I can get back into the sleeve. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there for you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far, of course, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.